My name is Emily Clark. In the 10th year of marriage to Michael. I'd always wanted a child. But Michael consistently refused, claiming parenthood would dethrone him as my greatest love. I mistook his jealousy for devotion until overhearing his best friend ask, "Michael, a decade married and still no kid with Emily?" Michael sneered. "Why ruin Emily's figure? You wanna sleep with her after she gets saggy? If I ever have kids, it'll be with Sophia." The girl beside him blushed, burying her face in his chest as their friends chanted Mrs. Hayes Jr. Clutching my positive pregnancy test, I fled home to leave divorce papers. But Michael, why kneel weeping later, begging for the family you rejected? When Sophia returned from abroad, Michael's childhood friends threw her a welcome party. "Emily, it's a no spouses night," he apologized. I smiled, claiming shopping plans with my best friend, really heading for my prenatal appointment. For 10 years, Michael had nuzzled my neck whenever I mentioned children. Stay my favorite. Emily. Last month's tipsy lapse changed everything. I imagined his joy seeing the test. Our future with a mini Michael tugging my sleeves. Leaving the unusually quiet hospital early, I stopped at Michael's favorite bistro. Through the private dining room's ajar door, I saw him holding court. His brother's voice carried, seriously. 10 years without knocking up Emily? Sophia's the only woman I'd breed with. Michael scoffed. The brunette at his side playfully punched his arm as the table erupted in Mrs. Hayes Jr. Cheers. Someone added. We all know you'd have waited for Sophia if not for the Hayes family inheritance rules. My knees buckled. The positive test crinkled in my death grip as their laughter dissolved into tinnitus. The rearview mirror showed a stranger, red-eyed, trembling, mascara running down like rivers. Fumbling for my phone, I froze at Michael's unchanged contact, Love S. Freshman year. I'd teased. Your username makes people think you're crushing on me. He'd locked eyes, murmuring, "What if I am?" When rival suitors appeared, stoic Michael cornered me wild-eyed, "Emily, I'm going insane. Why won't you choose only me?" He proposed after I changed my profile to Love M. Raging until I reverted it. That M could mean Martin, he'd claimed, referencing my college lab partner. Now realization curdled my stomach. S never stood for Shaw. The prenup I'd signed without question. The Hayes family lawyer's haste. Our entire marriage was a holding pattern until Sophia returned. It seemed someone wanted to verify my words. Michael, who'd never posted about our wedding, just shared an Instagram update, a photo of him with Sophia. Sophia beamed at the camera while Michael gazed at her with unmistakable tenderness. The caption read, "Welcome home, baby." Tears streamed down my face. Michael never called me baby, claiming it was too cheesy. In our 10 years together, he'd only drunkenly murmured it once, 3 days before our wedding, after unexpectedly flying overseas. When I picked him up from the bar, he'd slurred, "Baby, I'm getting married. Doesn't that make you sad?" Before I could answer, he'd added, "If you came back, I'd cancel everything." I wasn't stupid. His childhood friends suddenly developed amnesia when I asked about his past, hiding Sophia's existence until her recent return. Those annual business trips during holidays? Now I understood, no business. Just his precious baby Sophia overseas. My stomach churned violently. I clutched the steering wheel, dry heaving until a cleaning lady tapped my window. "Sweetheart, you okay?" Her eyes softened at my red-rimmed gaze. "Whatever it is, life goes on. No storm lasts forever." She was right. 10 years of mistakes were enough. If Michael wanted to be dirty, I'd let him stay in the mud. I liked his post and commented, "Let's divorce." He stumbled in at midnight, reeking of alcohol and another woman's cherry red lipstick on his collar. "Honey, what's for dinner?" He mumbled into my shoulder. I shoved divorce papers into his hands. "We're done." "Michael, this isn't funny." He scrambled for his phone, then paled seeing my comment. "Sophia. I mean my friends took my phone. They posted that as a joke." "Lies. Michael guarded his privacy fiercely, even I didn't know his passcode. Yet Sophia could access it freely. His phone rang. Sophia's tearful voice carried through. "Michael, the utilities in your little condo aren't working." I froze. "You let her live in my mother's apartment?" Sophia sniffled dramatically. "I didn't know it was Emily's. I'll leave right now. You should comfort your wife." The line went dead. Michael grabbed his keys. I blocked the door. "Explain. Now." He glared like I was the criminal. "Sophia's just a kid having fun. Stop vilifying her." Vilifying? I laughed bitterly. He'd already chosen sides. When his phone lit up again with Sophia's name, the tender smile he reserved for her shattered what remained of my heart. This apartment was bought for me by my mother before she passed away. She said every woman should own a home to stand tall in this world. It's the only tangible memory she left me. Michael shoved my hand away, causing me to stumble and fall hard on the floor. He didn't even glance back. "Emily, aren't you ashamed of bullying a child at your age? Stay here and reflect on your behavior." The door slammed behind Michael, leaving me curled up on cold tiles. Cold sweat beaded my forehead as stabbing pains shot through my abdomen. Groping for my phone, I dialed 911 with trembling fingers. The ER doctor's words hollowed me out. My baby, the one I'd already named in secret, whose nursery plans filled my Pinterest board, was gone. I had the career, the savings, the fierce determination to raise him alone. For weeks, I'd whispered lullabies to my still, flat stomach. Now there'd be no tiny heartbeat to monitor. No first kicks to celebrate. Tears soaked the hospital gown as I traced the bandages. "I'm so sorry, little one." During my week-long recovery, Michael's social media bloomed with Sophia's existence, Sophia sipping matcha lattes, Sophia yawning like a kitten, Sophia clinging to Michael on roller coasters. I was swiping away another of her duck-lipped selfies when a friend request popped up, "Love Jay." The instant I accepted, messages flooded in. "Hi sis, smiling face with halo." Sophia's opener came with a photo that made my breath hitch, her draped across Michael's lap in our apartment. His arms looped around her waist like they'd rehearsed this pose. My chest should have ached. Instead, I calmly changed her contact name to Homewrecker and screenshot our chat. Midnight brought a bombardment, dozens of explicit photos with captions dripping venom. "Michael's mine. You dried up hag. He only married you for those D-cup tits. Keep the divorce papers ready. You're just his cum rag while I finish college." What stopped me cold wasn't their tangled limbs, but the familiar duvet in every shot, the ivory linen set my mother had gifted me. Rage crystallized into purpose. At dawn, I watched from a rideshare as Michael and Sophia left my sanctuary. Movers descended like locusts, stripping every trace of them, mattress, toothbrushes, even the compromised locks. The nosy neighbor peeked out as workers hauled away the adulterous bed frame. "Sorry for the noise." I smiled icily. "Just fumigating my property after some vermin infestation." By sunset, I stood in the marital home we'd shared. Dust-coated surfaces untouched since my hospitalization. The coffee table now held a curated stack, divorce papers, printed screenshots of Sophia's midnight spree, and the ER discharge summary. My suitcase wheels echoed through empty halls as I left without glancing back. The coastal town's salt air stung my cheeks that first evening, in the best possible way. I'd blocked Michael's entire orbit, colleagues, golf buddies, even my own father. Yet 3 months later, as I haggled over sea base at the farmer's market, a familiar drawl froze me. "Emily? Fancy meeting you here." Sophia twirled a lock of honey blonde hair, maternity jeans stretching over her rounded belly. "Michael's been worried sick. You really should call home." Her left hand flashed a pair cut diamond I'd never seen before. On the day I changed the locks, Michael returned to the apartment that evening with Sophia only to find themselves locked out. Since Michael wasn't the registered homeowner and couldn't provide proper documentation, the locksmith refused to open the door. Their 3-hour argument disturbed the entire building, with neighbors pouring into the hallway complaining about the midnight commotion. "Michael, who always positioned himself as Sophia's protector, shielded her while offering monetary compensation to appease the crowd. The neighbors remained unimpressed, none needed his money, but grudgingly quieted at his polite demeanor. That's when Mrs. Thompson from 5B emerged, pointing fingers and exposing everything, how I'd thrown out furniture and changed locks after catching their affair. Sophia snapped, screaming the one who isn't loved is the real homewrecker. This ignited neighborhood fury. When Michael tried pacifying them with Sophia's just a kid, don't take her words seriously, the crowd exploded. Security footage of their eviction went viral overnight, with comments flooding in. Compensation? Who needs his dirty money? What a joke. 30 going on 13. Since when is 30 a kid? Fake gentleman meets wannabe ingenue perfect trash match. Michael's childhood friends rushed to defend them, spinning a Romeo-Juliet tale of star-crossed lovers separated by parental opposition and forced marriage. The internet wasn't having it. So adultery becomes tragic romance now? Give me a break. Ah yes. The gun-to-head wedding classic coercion story. Keep telling yourselves that while the planet keeps spinning, their interference backfired spectacularly. Internet sleuths uncovered Michael's crumbling business partnerships and Sophia's expelled from school for bullying past. Even the friends got exposed for various scandals, becoming collateral damage in the online roast. When the spotlight finally turned to me, the comments section transformed frowny-face Queen Emily. Ditch these losers and shine. Your best life starts the day you lose that deadweight. But peace proved fleeting. During a seaside walk, someone snapped my photo online. Sophia tracked me down days later, unrecognizable from her former polished self, hair matted, skin sallow, moving like a hunted animal. She practically dragged me into a cafe, her grip vice-like. You stole him, she hissed, mascara bleeding down hollow cheeks. We've known each other 30 years. 16 when I first loved him. How dare you? I didn't steal anyone, I countered calmly. He proposed. Had I known about you, there'd never have been a wedding. Liar. Her scream turned heads. You poisoned his mind after that family dinner. Made him cut me off. Or maybe, I leaned forward, if he truly loved you, our marriage wouldn't exist. You were convenient, Sophia. Always available. Always forgiving, even of affairs. Why would he value what never demands effort? Her porcelain mask shattered. I'm not the home wrecker, she wailed, collapsing into heaving sobs. Part of me expected satisfaction watching this unraveling. Instead, I felt nothing. The hatred had evaporated along with my love for Michael. In that moment, I realized we'd both been prisoners of the same lie. As women, why make enemies of each other when the real cage was his making? I ordered a dessert and placed it in front of her. Eating something sweet helps when you're sad. Without looking back, I turned to leave just as Sophia's murderous glare flashed in her eyes. Emily, stop pretending to be noble. Die. Sophia suddenly pulled a fruit knife from her purse and lunged at me. Before I could react, cold steel glinted inches from my chest. A figure abruptly shielded me. Michael collapsed to his knees, blood gushing from his abdomen despite my desperate attempts to staunch the flow. Sophia screamed hysterically. Michael. How? I didn't mean to. It's all Emily's fault. That bitch deserves to die. Chaos erupted as bystanders restrained her. Michael lay bleeding, his fading gaze locked on me. Emily. I found you days ago, he rasped, but only dared follow. I'm sorry. Save your strength. My trembling fingers fumbled with my phone. Tears blurred the 911 keypad as his voice weakened. Are you abandoning me? The ambulance's wail shattered my paralysis. Surgeons later stabilized him. Exhausted, I slumped against hospital walls before notifying the Hayes family and leaving. Weeks later, Mrs. Hayes called. Michael wants divorce discussions. I found him pale but alert in his hospital bed. Emily, his voice broke. It's been so long. Let's schedule the courthouse appointment. His face whitened. No second chances? Sophia meant nothing. Those photos she sent, we just slept platonically. What about your annual New Year's trips? Shock flashed across his features. She needed company abroad. Nothing happened. I laughed bitterly. I was at your reunion dinner. Michael. Heard you boast about my body. Discuss having Sophia bear your children. Let your buddies call her Mrs. Hayes. Color drained from his face. Empty locker room talk. To impress. Do men really think timing deserves applause? His stuttering excuses dissolved into tears. You can't leave. I saved your life. Does that erase years of humiliation? You kept Sophia dangling for validation while claiming devotion to me. Congratulations, you've mastered emotional polygamy. Michael clutched his bandages. Desperation morphing to rage. You owe me. I owe you medical bills. Not my life. Enjoy Sophia's undivided attention now. His mother intercepted me outside. Wait. The prenup. Burn it. I want nothing from your son. The elevator doors closed on their stunned silence. Through the glass walls, I watched sunlight glint on the city skyline, my future. Unshackled. But if it weren't for you, Sophia wouldn't have come at me with a knife. Seemingly unable to find any more reasons to keep me, Michael grew agitated. Emily. How could you be so heartless? I only made the same mistake every man under heaven makes. Why won't you forgive me just once? You even killed our own child with your own hands. At the mention of the child, tears welled up in my eyes. You're wrong. Michael. You're the one who killed our child. Not me. What? I intended to keep this baby. But on the night Sophia returned to the country, you pushed me. The child didn't survive. Michael stood frozen in place. Not wanting to prolong this conversation, I stated, my lawyer will handle all divorce proceedings. And walked away without looking back. After I left, I heard a loud crash behind me. Glancing back briefly, I knew it no longer concerned me. From that moment, we became strangers. Following the divorce, I heard nothing about Michael or Sophia for a long time. Eventually, Sophia's stabbing incident resurfaced as major news. This time involving criminal charges. The scandal eclipsed their previous notoriety. Both the Hayes and Bennett families' reputations plummeted, their businesses collapsing as partners withdrew. Ultimately, both families went bankrupt. Sophia went to prison. Michael refused to forgive her, ensuring she received a lengthy sentence. As time passed, new scandals overshadowed theirs, and I gradually moved on, building a new life. Years later, I unexpectedly received a letter from Michael. He wrote about working multiple jobs, struggling through hardship that ruined his health, claiming he was nearing death. His final wish was to see me. I didn't go. I wanted no further connection. 3 months later, I inherited his remaining possessions. Without examining them, I donated everything to the Children's Foundation. My life only moves forward now. Looking back reveals barren wasteland, but ahead lies sunlight and open fields.